Hey everyone. Hey, hey.
Hello. Let me get
Hello.
my, okay, there we go. Hi,
What's
hi, hi.
good? I'm
Not
putting some
much. Making
music
some
on to
music.
get the
I mean,
vibes
maybe we just
right.
start this as a jam.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know. My
No,
closest instrument is my acoustic guitar. I'm not sure that would gel with the beats,
it
but it could.
absolutely would.
It
It
could. It
absolutely
totally
would.
would. Yeah.
The rhythmic guitar, chung, chung, chung,
Yeah,
chung,
yeah.
chung.
There we go.
Wow, that was terrible. I butchered it, but whatever. Like
I
it would
mean,
work.
it would be more like an electric guitar. Like you can't really make acoustic guitar noises with your mouth. It's more of an electric guitar thing, I think, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree. I
I saw you got
agree.
to do the Satoshi Nakamoto, and I was so jealous. Like
It
I'm
was
like,
so
ah.
fun,
I wasn't able to do any of the
honestly.
like side events. It was very sad.
Oh my God, when did you get to Miami, actually?
It was like the 17th, I want to say, and then it was just like straight working every
Yeah,
day,
it
like
was,
14 hours. I was doing
yeah.
like 2 to 3 jobs. So,
Oh my God.
yeah. Yeah, but it was pretty cool. Just like being on site, meeting everybody in person, like all these people I've been editing for the past year. I'm like, I feel like you should know me already, like, like because I know
Yeah.
you so well. Ah, Isa.
Issa's here.
On my camera.
Yeah, it starts you off without having your camera on, I think.
Getting people ready to be catfish. They're like,
What's
get ready.
good?
Wait, look, rapping, rapping,
Rapping,
Ooh,
also
wait, you got a
rapping. I was
hoodie?
like, I'm freezing.
Andres, the only one that looks like a decent human.
Yeah, yeah, no, between yesterday and today, we're just rocking all the merch.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get as much merch at the end of the day as I wanted to, but I did get like a Satoshi Nakamoto shirt, and that's basically
Oh,
it.
girl, I went
Dude, I
crazy.
wanted one of those, but yeah, like, yeah, they were like, oh, you can have a one free shirt. They weren't being as generous this year until I think the end when I wasn't able to go over.
Oh,
Oh my
that's
God, no. I would see, I'd be knocking on CK's door like,
Uh-huh.
CK,
Well,
where is my merch?
all I got to
I
do
need
is
to
go to,
represent.
yeah,
This
if I
needs to
go to
be,
Nashville, exactly. I got to be visible.
yeah,
yeah. No,
exactly.
the merch was popping. I didn't get a hoodie though this year. That was my only concern.
Yeah,
The
but the
hoodies,
bucket hats were dope.
I feel like they should have them online. Do they have them online?
The bucket hats,
Like
maybe.
merch?
We do have a store, but I don't know if they have any of the conference specific stuff up yet.
Let's
But you
see.
can get like a lot of the stuff they were selling there
They totally
for
do.
sure.
They have
Yeah,
some merch, not like
not everything,
a
but
lot,
yeah.
but they have some stuff.
Hmm.
that they do exclusivity. You can only buy it
Exactly.
if you're there.
At the conference, yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. That does make sense. Oh my God, they have guys, they have a pastel pink Pepe hat.
No way, show that.
Bro, this thing is insane. Sorry, I like actually need to like change my
The
my camera
background.
for this and take out the effect. Fuck, how do I do this?
Oh no.
Hold up. I'm just gonna flip the camera back. I can't, you guys are just gonna have to
You're
go
gonna have to
on
go to the store. Yeah.
bitcoinmagazine.com to see it, but it is the cool because it's the pixelated Pepe. It's not just
Ah,
some like
yeah.
basic Pepe. And they still have a corduroy hat with Pepe like zoomed in. It's so cool. It's so cool. I need it. I need it. I want
I'm
it
gonna look it
all.
up.
I saw there was the Pepe sneakers in the Ordinals Alley area that were pretty dope actually. I saw the notice they were in one of the magazines. And yeah, we both got our copies of the Julian Assange new cover that we have. That was
I
dope.
stole like 5 magazines. Like, now I'm a true worker for Bitcoin Magazine.
I got one from the Bitcoin brunch or whatever, and that was it.
Nice, nice. Was it the Julian Assange gatekeepers issue?
I don't think
It
I.
was the yes, it was the Julian Assange. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I was about to say it was like it's the old guy going like, "Nyeh," like
I know he's like looking down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have.
What?
That's the only one I don't have.
Ah, no. They might be mailing it to you soon. I think they put you on the mailing list, and I just got mine in the box today.
So today, girls
Ah,
know about Bitcoin too. We haven't talked in like 2 weeks,
nope.
and we're about to catch up on everything that was the conference, what we've been up to since then, and anything else that comes up. We're going to be streaming for about half an hour, so if you guys can share the stream and follow us on Simply Bitcoin TV and Bitcoin Magazine. And you guys can follow Issa too. She's like pretty fucking dope. I don't know.
Yesterday we
um,
were together, so
yeah.
we went to the Bitcoin meetup in Miami,
Oh,
and it
dope.
was the last Bitcoin meetup. That
What?
was
It was the last one that we would have in the Grove. More
Okay.
meetups. Listen, if I have to start doing these meetups myself, I will
Can we
because
please do them? Simply Bitcoin and Bitcoin Magazine meetups.
yes, yes, I'm
Let's do
so
them, and we
down.
can do them in random places.
Yeah, yeah, like we can even just do so there's the same people who do the Bitcoin meetups in Miami are also they have also been doing Bitcoin brunch every single
Dope.
day, like every single day, every single Sunday for like the last over 100 Sundays. I went to the
Wow.
100th one. That's how I know it's over 100. And they have been chilling with people, meeting up. Like that has been the official Bitcoin meetup. But I would like to extend that. I want to do Saturdays. I want to do cocktails. I want to talk to the normies because it's one thing to be inside of your echo chamber and, for us to be talking about this, which is super cool. And it's a whole other thing to be talking to like people who might not necessarily be so interested, but we will change that
Right.
because through conversation,
I
through
know.
long
I almost
conversation.
like did a whole like I almost went off on someone else, not a bit off, but like I was like about to go onto a rant like at a bar the other night when the like there I was like, "Oh yeah, I work for Bitcoin magazine." She's like, "But the energy though." And I was like, "I could tell you the talking points, but it's karaoke and it's very loud right now and I don't think you're gonna understand." But
It's not that
yeah.
bad.
Yo, is that situations like that just make me laugh because people are so hypocritical when they're like,
Right,
"Oh, the
exactly.
energy. You used a card today, didn't you?
Right,
Me,
exactly.
honey? Like,
We spend electric energy on so much trash. Like, are you kidding me?
the,
Like,
the clothes, the textile industry is like the number, I think, top 5 industries
yeah,
that produce the carbon out there.
yeah.
So if you
It's
want to like get on
And
planes, like
right.
Jesus.
and and the one that nobody wants to talk about, electric vehicles. Electric
Exactly.
vehicles
Yep.
have a huge taxation on the earth. And like, while people want to talk about climate change and this and that, like, we're not talking about how we're actually harming the earth by digging up lithium for the batteries for the cars.
Yep.
You know? I'm
Yep.
not saying that they're bad. I'm not going to play the hypocritical card here and
Of
say
course
like you
not.
shouldn't buy you can buy whatever you want. You can buy whatever you want. I think as long as you're not being wasteful, I think it's totally fine. Buy whatever you want. Get your electric vehicle, get your miners, do what you have to do to make the most out of your life. I can't stand people who are like that and telling you like, "Oh, you can't buy Bitcoin because like Elon, who obviously knows because he
Right.
works with Tesla. Like he literally outed himself with that. It's like,
Well,
Elon,
he
bro,
he
like
said that he was gonna start accepting Bitcoin as it was majority clean energy, and I don't know if anyone like updated him, but it's actually majority clean energy right now, like just like the ratio of it. So technically, he should be accepting Bitcoin again for Teslas. Just saying.
He wants to. I
about
feel like
about
he
this
wants
bitch.
to, but he's gone into this. I feel like his ego has like beat him. You know,
Right.
because he has Bitcoin. So why is he like judging? Like you want to accept Bitcoin. He just doesn't have
Right.
like the guts to do it like Bukele did. Like people are gonna talk whether you accept Bitcoin or not.
Damn, we calling
He
Elon
just
a
doesn't
chicken.
he doesn't have anything to lose. Here's the thing. He has more to
Yeah.
gain from shit coins like Doge and who are a lot more volatile and he can control the entire market cap of if he wanted to because he's the richest man on earth. And he has nothing to really lose with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going to go up anyway, what does he have to lose by shitting on Bitcoin, buying in at a lower price, and then getting his bag up with Doge? Like, this man is just playing
Right.
like
Right. I'm
he's
sure he's
playing
been
around.
sacking in this bear market.
Oh,
One
100%.
hundred
Yeah.
I would
percent.
not doubt
Yeah.
it. I would not doubt
I
it.
bet you
So,
he texts Michael Saylor and's like, "You buying, bro? Let's buy."
That would be
Issa,
amazing.
speaking of Michael Saylor, bro, I didn't talk to you about this yesterday because I completely forgot, but I saw your TikTok about how you sold Saylor a painting. Please
Wait.
talk to us about that.
Okay. I didn't sell him a painting. He just owns it now. What happened was, I made a painting for the conference, and before I interviewed him, I wanted to gift it to him. So after the interview, I go up to him and I'm like, "This is super random, but I have this painting and I want to gift it to you." And he goes over, looks at it, and says, "You don't have to do that." And I said, "Well, if you don't like it, you don't have to take it." He's like, "No. You know what? Why don't you drop it off at my house? I'm going to be having a party there. You can come
Yeah.
put it in the middle of the ballroom and, you can show your art." I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was watching from the sidelines on this whole interaction. He was so nice, like so gracious,
so nice.
he's so generous with his time. Like I do like that, like he's like this kind of like big famous man in Bitcoin, but he'll do interviews with like everybody. And, he just wants to spread the message. I love that.
100%. There's people that just keep it to themselves, but he's like, "No. I have time for everybody." I love it. You never hear that of a billionaire,
Right.
talking
Not
about
common. Yeah.
whatever.
So who else
I
did
see.
you guys interview that was awesome?
Oh my
Please,
gosh,
like, give us
everybody.
the tea. We need the behind the scenes tea.
I mean, Andrea, you go first.
There's
Who
so
was
much.
your
I mean,
favorite?
who was our favorite? Oh gosh. I don't know. I mean, it was just kind of a blur. I'm still like looking through the footage and being like, oh shit, yeah, we got that person, that person. Like I have so much to edit, and then also I'm uploading all of the content, like all the segments. So I'm just like too much content, but that's a good problem to have. Yeah, we got like Caitlin Long was pretty cool. Like we got what's the senator? Cynthia Lummis. Like she talked to us, which was so like I was a lot like surprised of some of the people who talked to us. David Marcus, right?
He was actually one of my favorites.
Yeah, he was really nice.
Yeah, he shared a story on how he was orange pilled because of the economical situation in Venezuela. He was in Venezuela, and his
Right.
brother was the one that told him about Bitcoin. So by this time, the Bolivar, we're talking about, I think it was 2011. I might be wrong.
Yikes.
But he noticed how you couldn't trade bolivars for US dollar. So he's talking to his brother, and his brother's like, "Listen, bro, you can buy with bolivars Bitcoin and sell the Bitcoin and get US dollars." Something along those lines. And he's like, "No, you can't." He's like, "Yeah, you can, in the same exchange rate. It's not going to be ridiculous fees." He
Yeah,
tried
because
it.
there's something that people don't know about buying dollars in Venezuela is that there's the black market and then there's Calibi, which
Right,
is like
right.
the legit like through the letter that you get screwed by Calibi. Everybody knows not to buy through there. So like
Right.
everybody tries to buy through the black market and whatever. And now I guess the new market is Bitcoin. Although it puzzles me. Why would my people, who have gone through inflation, in their own currency and they see the inflation that's happening with the dollar, why would they buy dollars with Bitcoin?
Oof. I think it's just like a knowledge gap at the end of the day. Like they just like they trust that more. Like people who don't know about Bitcoin. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe it's also a situation that everything is still priced in dollars, and so
Exactly.
therefore it's just easier. Like it's a language that everybody understands. And I think that that's going to be like a really big part of adoption is having sats be the normal thing, or sats being as close to dollars as possible. Is there something smaller than sats? Do you guys know? I have no idea.
In Bitcoin, no. The Sats is
No.
the smallest
We
denomination.
might have to make a new thing because
That
also
that's like been a thing. Like if we want to scale up eventually, we could make add a couple more zeros to what a sat is potentially, but who knows?
That's actually two good points that you pointed out. One of them, like the education gap, people always talk about how the dollar is backed up by the government and they are afraid of Bitcoin because nothing backs it up. And the other point that they mention is, well, you're buying Bitcoin with US dollars. So if there's no US dollar, how do you give value to Bitcoin? And they forget we're the only ones that are putting value to the dollar.
Right, right.
It's
Oh
crazy
man.
to me.
it's wild. It's absolutely wild. I think it really is a learning curve. And speaking of that, last week I had the privilege of going to a STEM fair in
Dope.
Miami Central High School. Talking about we were talking about Bitcoin. We were the only company there who wasn't paid by an entity or a company. We were literally just volunteers spreading the message of Bitcoin. And
Awesome. Got to
some of
start
the
them young.
kids, some of the kids bought in like 2010. So
Whoa.
What?
they know, yes,
That's
yes, they
crazy.
bought in 2010. They're like, yeah, I bought it and then I sold it and I shouldn't have done that. I'm like, damn, I have so much hope for our
Yeah.
entire world
That
right now.
that's the thing. We're gonna have issues trying to orange pill the top, like the older people. They already have their mindset. There's nothing you can change. Very few of them will allow change. But the new generation, that's gonna be this. They're gonna save us.
Yep.
Right. And there's less incentive for older people to invest. They have a shorter time preference at the end of the day. Like Bitcoin is all about a long time preference and like, if you're retiring, what good is it going to do to buy you Bitcoin is what they're thinking. I mean, just like that's just not going to appreciate before I die in the way I need it to.
Yeah,
Like, ain't nobody
exactly.
got time for that.
Right. Well,
Exactly, exactly.
I just had a
What
thought.
about,
You guys know that, sorry.
oh, no, 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 go ahead, go ahead.
That show, I didn't really like it that much, but that show Upload that talks about like a digital heaven afterlife kind of thing, like that'll just be like where people put their like when their like soul gets uploaded to the digital afterlife, that's when they can like spin the Bitcoin they've been stacking.
That's
Oh
actually
my
funny
God.
though.
I've
Most
never
of
heard of this show. This sounds
Really?
crazy.
It sounded like so up my alley, and I won't say it's a bad show, but it was just not quite as funny as I was hoping it would be. It's like one of the producers of The Office, I think, did it or something. Someone who's been like along in comedy for a while, but I
That's
recommend at least giving it a shot.
wow. So I have a question for you guys. One of the people that you interviewed was Vivek Ramaswamy, right?
Yes.
What was that like? Because right now we're about to enter the election season. As we all know, 2024 is just around the corner and it's hand in hand with the halving. How do you, after talking to so many politicians and people in government, what do you guys see as the landscape for Bitcoin in politics for the next elections? Because right now we heard Ron DeSantis go on the spaces, and one of the last questions that he answered, I don't know if you guys listened, was about Bitcoin, and his answer to me just kind of showed me that he doesn't actually
Yeah.
understand how Bitcoin
Right.
works. And that is very worrying because I don't want politicians to talk about Bitcoin just for the sake of talking about Bitcoin. I really want people to understand it and to
Yeah.
understand how it works and to understand how we can best implement it. So when you guys talk to Vivek or Cynthia Loomis, what was your impression of them and what was your feedback like? with regards to talking to them about Bitcoin and politics?
So my theory is no hate. Like this is just personal Isabela Santos theory. They're all using it for the hype.
I
When
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
they talk about it, the way they mention it, it's not because they are passionate about it. No, they just want the free press. And RFK, he was the first one to hop on. Obviously, his speech.
Yeah, I will say his speech, he was written by a Bitcoiner, clearly. He took the time to find
Yeah.
someone who knew our community to write his speech for him, and he knocked it out of the park. Like,
That was smart.
yeah,
That was smart on his part.
very smart.
But I'm gonna tell a true story. We interviewed the representative of South Beach,
The mayor of South Beach.
the mayor,
Yeah.
the mayor of South Beach, and he's talking about Bitcoin, how he loves it, and he's like, yeah, I love Bitcoin, I'm pro Bitcoin, and I love how you guys are coming here in South Beach. And then I asked, do you own Bitcoin? And he said no. So I'm like, then why are you preaching about all of it? If
Right.
you know some Bitcoin?
He was like, his wife won't allow it or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
What?
Yeah.
So
That just made me like completely turn. I'm gonna like look up who this is and not vote for them.
Right.
Your wife won't let you buy Bitcoin?
I don't know. We're like, well, we need that orange pill your wife then. Like, educate her. What are you doing here? You're like, at the Bitcoin
Like, what are you
conference.
doing here, bro? I would have lied. Oh my god, that person, bro. Like, this is when a little white lie like just goes a long way. I'm sure he has like a hot wallet or something from the conference where they just give you free
Probably.
sats. I would have just
Yeah,
been
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, here it is. I just got some Bitcoin now. I'm totally gonna buy some when I get home.
yeah, why wouldn't you just say it? But that shows you that these Senate or the government people are not, I'm not going to say all of them, because you have other people that, like Lomis, she actually truly believes in Bitcoin, her theory, everything. Why? Like, she explains how she was like a farm girl and she worked hard for her money and she doesn't want the government to take it.
Exactly.
You know,
She was a Bitcoiner for sure.
she was a
That
Bitcoiner.
one. Not
But
someone
you
who's just
have-
using it.
No, and you have these people that are just hopping on the trend because they realize that they realize the fame that Bukele got because he made Bitcoin a legal tender. But if you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta do the walk. A legal tender. I don't care if you own it or not, and if you believe it, whatever. But I feel like the way that they're expressing it, they're doing it to get votes, and then at the end of the day, they're gonna get into the House, they're gonna be the president, and they're gonna be like, yeah, since we have like different houses, the checks and balances, we're not gonna be able to make Bitcoin a legal tender. So
Like,
Yeah,
basically,
it's a talking point.
yeah. Bitcoiners have become a
that
big
was
enough
gonna be
group.
that was gonna
Sorry,
be
go
the
ahead.
follow-up question, like, does it matter? As long as they like don't ban it and don't sink the price by making it illegal to purchase Bitcoin with dollars, does it matter if they're really Bitcoiners? That's something that I've been asking myself, because obviously I saw through Ron DeSantis. I don't know about Vivek Ramaswamy that much. Like, I
I feel like
know-
he's also on that side of like, he gets
Yeah.
it, but he's more interested in, he was talking a lot about how he wanted to reform the Fed and strengthen the dollar, like, really. And he's like, oh, I can't strengthen the dollar if I don't have competition. So Bitcoin's welcome competition. But like, ultimately he's pro dollar. Ultimately he wants to fix the dollar somehow. Like, at the end of the day.
That's so tragic. Oh,
So it's
this
just
is
like,
so tragic.
he's like adjacent. I would say he like gets Bitcoin, and he was super smart. That was extremely evident when we were interviewing him. He was like very well spoken, very smart. But like, also he comes out with some policies. I've been like looking into them, and I'm just a little like scratching my head at some of the stuff a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's crazy. All of these politicians, they remind me, Bitcoin reminds me of like, you know, those like metal things in the water that like signify that there's like where you have to drill or whatever, there's like a boundary. I feel like all of these politicians are just sharks circling the little orange
Yep.
Bitcoin metal cone and just saying like, we know what this is about. You we want you to believe that we know what this is
Right,
about, but in
right,
reality, they don't know anything. And if
right.
they don't know anything, how can we expect other people to know as well?
Yeah, yeah,
No, the good thing is we do have to highlight the silver lining about this is that Bitcoin is in the mouth of these presidential
right.
candidates. They're running to be president. It is a topic of conversation, and you can see that people are starting to hear about Bitcoin. People
Pay
that had no
attention.
idea
Yeah,
and didn't believe about it. Now the president of the soon-to-be president of the United States, they're talking about it. So it
yeah,
must be important. And I think the people up there, they're like freaking out because Bitcoin is something they should be afraid of. It's gonna
right.
be the end of the dollar. This is just the beginning.
Bitcoin would actually be a hell of a Hail Mary for Biden. Could you imagine just like all out of nowhere, this
Oh my
man comes
God.
out saying, Bitcoin strong,
Right.
America's gonna invest, we're about to buy thousands of Bitcoin, the price just like
God,
shoots up.
wow.
If
That would be
anyone
wild.
on Biden's administration is listening to this, anyone at all,
Yeah. I mean, for real, because it's like right now the two like head like leading, it's like we don't know what, it's politics, anything could happen. But as of today, it's like it seems like it's going to be Trump v. Biden again, and both of them are anti-Bitcoin, which is
yeah,
like pretty
it's
interesting. And I think that's another reason why these smaller people are trying to latch on. They see Bitcoiners as a voting block, and it's a numbers game. If they can, like, if Bitcoiners can push them 1% one way or the other, that's all they need to get over the line sometimes. And but I won't lie, I don't mind being pandered to. It's nice. It's nice being paid attention to a little bit.
yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I just think that they need to educate themselves more before making it
Yeah.
part of their policy or pretending to know what we're
Right.
talking about. Like other voter demographics, we're very different. We are very much, Bitcoiners are very much in a class of their own. We understand the economy more than most Americans. We understand obviously how Bitcoin works. A lot of us have our entire lives invested into this. And so it's going to be a little bit difficult to, first of all, control the narrative around Bitcoin or what they know about Bitcoin, and to also fool everybody who's into Bitcoin to vote for them just because they say the word.
Right.
I think I'm paying attention very closely to the verbiage that they're using. And at the end of that space is DeSantis said something like Bitcoin. We're not going to ban anything like Bitcoin. That is very different than
Interesting.
saying we
Yeah.
are not going to touch Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be legal tender at some point in the United States, and we will slowly implement that policy through me. Like,
Right.
that is what I want to hear.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
You have to be careful with him because he doesn't stand with the true values of Bitcoin. I feel like Bitcoin is the government that governs least is the best government. And he's been banning TikTok and all these other things.
and books and speech. Like,
Yeah.
Everything. So that contradicts the definition of Bitcoin, this revolution that we're trying to like fight against. And then another thing that I want to touch on is RFK. In his speech, he was the only one that mentioned Ross Ulbricht, and that's something that it's super important for any president to even read about it or give it an opportunity to pardon this man that's serving the craziest sentence I've
right.
ever heard of.
Yeah, we got a chance to briefly speak with his mom actually backstage. Like she's trying to stay out mostly of the public eye, but like it was just really touching just being able to talk to her and just I don't know,
If
just
you
kind of
can,
hear from her
what
perspective
did you
directly.
say? Were you just offering her,
Just
like support, or did she
yeah,
say
basically.
anything? Do we have any updates?
Yeah, she basically, it sounds like, you know, without, I don't think how much of we can really say. I don't want to like disrupt her strategy, to the four people watching. Um, but like,
Sure.
I think it sounds like she's just there's, she's got lawyers and they're pursuing a strategy like that involves her kind of staying out of the public eye and doing things behind the scenes, basically.
Okay.
And she doesn't love that, but I think she's just like, I'm listening to their advice and sounds like this is the best way. Um,
But it's just
Yeah.
so sad to see a mom put her kid away that's a brilliant human being behind bars for 2 life sentences plus 40 years without parole. That, can you, people out there watching, put yourself in his situation? He's in prison for creating a website. And the thing was, she was explaining how his mental state, instead of wanting to, commit suicide or switch and be a mean person, he's come out through the other side, He's doing things to help the community. You can read this on the website
Right.
that they have free
He's
run.
like teaching classes, like, yeah.
He's helping suicidal prisoners as well. I think he's on
Right.
suicide watch, like
Yeah.
4 other prisoners.
Right.
It's an incredible
His
story.
division is actually the safest one that there is. They don't have any fights. No one's committed anything. He's found a way to live a new life. Obviously, he doesn't have another choice. But to be behind 4 closed walls the rest of your life, when you're so bright and you have everything ahead, his story, it's just disturbing.
Yeah.
And it hurts to see that not many people talk about it. Obviously you can't blame them, but people forget. Obviously,
Right.
Check it out. So if you guys are watching this, free Ross and sign the petition. Whoa, he's about to be 40. I was like,
That's
what?
wild.
Wow.
Damn. That makes sense though, because yeah, he's around the time when the website started. Yeah.
Well, hopefully whoever does go into office makes themselves familiar with this case and gives him a pardon, because yeah, there are people who have raped, murdered, like done the most heinous crimes in the world, and this man, for starting a YouTube channel, a website, has gotten
Right.
2 life sentences plus 40 years with no parole. It's an abuse of power, and it shows you the real power of the dollar, which is in essence the deep state and people who are trying to suppress the will of the people.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, he created this website, and then you have eBay, Amazon. They were literally trafficking children. The theory, I'm talking about allegedly, they were trafficking children through furniture.
I've never heard that.
Website.
Yes!
That is
Oh
wild.
my god, it's been so long since I've heard someone talk about this. This is real. That, like, you would be
Whoa.
able to order children through like IKEA or something, and like you'd get children in the mail.
What?
100%. And not, you think they did anything? No. they
Right.
didn't do
Well,
anything.
eBay had the proper
Let's
lobbyists
talk
in
about
place.
someone else who Issa has been covering, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Bro, that's
The fact that this lady, the names have not really been released. I mean, they have been little by little. If you guys are watching Issa's content, she's covering it very, very well. But the point is that Ghislaine is not going to have nearly as much time in prison as Ross.
At all. And the thing is, it's super sketchy, this topic, because I'm not even posting anything anymore because of how scared I am. The people that are managing, they're mafias, and they're not just in the United States. We're talking about in Mexico, in Japan, in Saudi Arabia, all these crazy places where they have the most power. We're talking about, people in the government that are part of the mafia, and they sex traffic children. We're talking about kids from 4 to 14 years olds. The parents either sell them to these mafias, or they're abducted or go missing.
Wow.
And anybody that tries to talk and dig in deep about this topic, they either disappear, they get into a mysterious accident, or they die of mysterious causes.
Wow.
Damn.
It's
nuts. Buy Bitcoin,
Yeah.
opt out of the system so you don't have to deal with any of this.
now.
Yes. Yes.
Someone in the
Oh,
chat
man.
was saying, come to El Salvador, and we will very soon.
Yes, I would love to go.
I'm gonna go in 2024 for the halving I don't know if it's a
Oh,
conference, if it's a party, if
right.
it's
They're doing
both.
like a having party. Yeah.
Okay, can we go?
No,
Where?
we're going. Like, it's happening. It's
Damn.
definitely happening.
I'm gonna have to investigate.
Let's do it.
No,
Because we
Bitcoin
don't know.
Magazine has to be there.
When
I
you buy the
know.
when you buy the ticket, let me know. We'll go. We'll make Bitcoin Magazine go.
I will, I will.
I mean,
Anyway,
someone's
guys, we're
gotta
running up on
cover us.
35 minutes. We're definitely going to do this again next week. So tune in, and thanks for the likes, thanks for the support. Oh, Gila's going. We have another woman going to the having party.
Hell yeah.
Everybody celebrate. Everybody celebrate. Everybody celebrate. No, but for real, this has been great. We do this every week in hopes of reaching more women and just people in general who don't know about Bitcoin, who want to talk, hang out. In the future, we want to have some guests. And yeah, follow us on our socials, Bitcoin Magazine, Issa's page, and my page, Simply Bitcoin TV. This has been great. If you guys want to know more about next year's conference, it's going to be in Nashville.
Hell yeah.
So get your tickets now before they go up. It was so much fun meeting everybody, seeing everybody in real life, and what was just a Twitter handle had just materialized in front of my eyes, and it was so, so nice. So if you guys want to know more about Bitcoin or just hang out with us, definitely make sure to get your tickets, and we'll see you next week.
See you next
Yeah.
week. And hi, Hila. We got a Bitcoin.
Yes.
Yes! Wait, follow us, DM us, and we'll add you to our chats because we have some Bitcoin Bitnibs chats that we can add you to. Anyway, thanks guys.
yes.
Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you around.
Bye.